Setup is everything for play-along guitar learning apps, and that's especially true of the Gibson Learn and Play guitar app. The ability for an app to track the intricacies of playing a live instrument can make or break the entire experience. So whether or not you're just starting out or seeking to refine your setup to maximise those stars and get as an immersive experience as possible, I'm going to show you in this video the 2 ways that I maximise my setup to keep me rocking all night long. Let me show you. Welcome to the channel. I'm Matthew and you've found The Creative Outlet, a place for those who have a passion outside of their day job who use it to relax, de-stress and reset. I share how I do that through music, technology and photography, and today we're picking up the guitar, plugging in, stomping on those pedals to show you how I maximise my setup and use my gear to get the best experience possible playing along to the Gibson Learn and Play guitar app. Now, in my other video about the Gibson Learn and Play guitar app, I spoke about that depending on your setup, your interaction with the learning material may differ. So before I go any further, I want to let you know what I'm not doing and why. Okay, so number 1, I am not using headphones. Now I know throughout the course of using the app you'll be prompted on multiple occasions to plug in headphones. For me, that just disconnects me from the live experience in the room. I prefer to hear the sound coming out of my amp. Number 2, I am not plugging the guitar into an audio interface or a guitar adapter that goes into a desktop, mobile or tablet. I don't want to plug into a digital environment and therefore get the sound coming out of desktop speakers. Again, I like the sound coming out of my amp in the room. And finally, number 3, I am not using any of the features in the app that digitally alter the sound of my guitar. You'll see that there's actually a feature in the app called Amp that gives you the ability to use the digital amp and pedal functionality. Again, it's not the sound that I'm after, so therefore I prefer to hear the sound coming out of my amp in the room. Now that's not to say any of those interactions and options are a bad experience. I've just never tried them. I prefer to hear what I'm playing directly in the room. But if you do use any of those 3 options, please use the comment section below to let us know. What works for some may not work for others, and therefore it'd be great to have this video list out different setup options for playing along to the Gibson Learn and Play guitar app for other users to use as a reference point. So now we've got what I'm not doing out of the way, let me show you how I maximise my setup, firstly on iPad and then secondly on desktop. Okay, turning first to the iPad, I'll put the gear on screen that I'm using. I have the iPad Pro 13-inch M4 with the Magic Keyboard, Gibson custom shop made-to-measure Danish Peat 58 Les Paul Standard, Bourbon Burst, VOS Andertons Spec, black Mamba Revolution instrument cable, 2 Rock Classic Reverb Signature 50-watt amp with a 12-inch cabinet speaker in Blonde Oxblood, the UAFX amp top box, the UAFX Golden Reverb and Starlight Echo Station delay. So this is the setup I use Monday to Friday when I have my desktop reserved for my 9 to 5 activities. I use the built-in mic from the iPad Pro and project the sound out of the iPad speakers. This setup is the most flexible. I can unplug, pick up my acoustic guitar and go in another room with the iPad, even travel with it and be able to still get the most from the app. The app is made for tablet and mobile, so you'll get the best possible UI and UX as intended by the developers, with the full screen navigation and touch screen options. On the flip side, depending on your screen size, you may need to sit a little closer to get the best possible viewing angle. And relying on both the inbuilt mic and speakers does mean the sound level makes a significant drop when you move to the interactive play sessions. given it needs to lower the speakers for the mic to pick up what you're playing more effectively. Apart from not having the headphones and plugging directly into the iPad through a guitar adapter, this setup is how the app was intended to be used. But if you want a supercharged, full stage experience, stick with me. You want to hear about my optimal setup on desktop. Okay, so moving on to the desktop setup. So for this, I'll bring up on screen the equipment I'm using this time around. Mac Studio Ultra, the Studio Display, keyboard and touchpad, the Apollo X Twin audio interface, KRK Speakers and Subwoofer, Herman Miller sit-stand desk, and the same equipment as before. Now to some this may be overkill, but trust me, once you've experienced this, you won't go back. This essentially is my weekend setup and can keep me playing for hours. The immersiveness of this setup is just incredible. I can sit or stand whilst playing and have the music separated from the mic coming out of the studio monitors. The Studio Display has built-in mics that it uses to capture the sound. Now you just need to make sure you separate the input and output to ensure it's not defaulting to the Apollo X Twin mic inputs. But you'll have more control over the volume this way and can blast your way through the backing tracks whilst jamming along through your amp at balanced levels, not to mention have everything shown on a much bigger screen. Now, it's not a desktop app, so when in full screen mode it's not optimal. But it's still a lot bigger than on a tablet or mobile. Equally, not everyone will have a display with a built-in mic, so some may struggle to work out how to capture the sound that's being played. But if you want the full immersive experience, I highly recommend you give this a go. So there you have it, my two setups that I use to maximise my experience playing along with the Gibson Learn and Play guitar app. Please comment in the section below to let me know how you interact with the app, what setup you use, the gear you use. It'd be great for other users to start using this video as a reference point to all possible options and setups to have when you play along with the app. Now, if you are a new subscriber, haven't yet signed up, if you use the code CO25, that's CO25, you'll get a free 30-day trial of the app's premium features. Now that code is only valid until the end of March, so use it while you still can and let me know how you get on using those premium features. Full terms and conditions are in the description below. And like I said, valid until the end of March 2025, so don't miss out. Please like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. I will let you into a little secret. This is only my 5th video on YouTube, so honestly I'd be truly honoured if you subscribed to join me on this journey. Remember, your 9 to 5 pays the bills, but your creative outlet defines you. I'll see you next time.